Not even live. There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday night at 9 p.m, which can only mean one thing. He's keen. Lee McMaster, straight in the comments there. Evening, gents. Evening, Lee McMaster. It's 9 p.m. Did I say 8? It's 9 p.m. here in the UK. So if you're watching over wherever you are, let us know where you are, and we'll tell you what time it is. J-Mac will, because I'm right at all that stuff. But tonight we've got a very special episode because J-Mac is an avid TikToker watcherer. And no. But he finds a lot of interesting people there. I tend to find them in the space. But this one is also a filmmaker. He's a TikToker. And he loves everything that we love. And there's, of course, much more to him. Tonight's episode is Adam James Mawson. TikTok, nostalgia, and the paranormal. Adam actually has the one video that is yet to be refuted by experts, correct?
Yep. I've seen the video, and it's pretty interesting, like especially considering the fact that it was taken on a camcorder, like a home camcorder back in the early 90s. I think he said 1991.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as easy to fake shit back then, and it's quite a intriguing wee video.
My year of birth, 1991.
See,
Aye.
some bad
Just,
things happen as well.
Just letting you all know that next week we have, when is this no showing up? There we go. An Arrow review of V Cinema's Bullets and Betrayal. A ton of films on Italian. Can't make it a word they're saying, but it will be class for us to watch them and review. That's coming up next week on the 30th. The week after that, 6th of April, we head to the anime town, all the anime. The first Slam Dunk. That looks mental. Can't wait to review that. The week after that, 13th of April, A Fistful of Dollars, and newly added on the 20th. Oh, look, you can see me through this. That's mental. Hiya. Mirror, mirror. This is a new thing. Mirror, mirror, which looks
Thing
crazy.
I did completely by accident. Well done.
No, it genuinely is accidental. I have no idea how I'm right here, and usually you don't see me during the thumbnail. So this will be on the 20th of April, Mirror Mirror, which looks absolute Matthewman. So I can't wait to delve into that, doesn't it? But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, the man of mystery, the man of nostalgic mystery, who can be often, often imitated but never eliminated. We'll get more on that. Yeah. Mr. Adam Mawson. How's it going, my friend? You alright?
I'm alright, how are you?
Aye, living the dream. I had kind of touched upon it there, that your TikTok has been cloned by somebody. And if that person's watching this, like, that's no cool. So if everybody could go to Adam Mawson 1, but not your one, on TikTok.
Adam Mawson 01.
Yeah.
Aye, 01.
Adam Mawson 01.
And then
I like how we're tagging this guy just to get him fucked.
Aye. So if you go to Adam Mawson 01, and it's the one with 101 followers, so it's the second option, go down to that TikTok, hit the share button, and then hit report, and just basically report them for trying to take a man's livelihood away. I mean, that's just out of order. So aye. Watch this.
When did you notice that, Adam? Was that just today?
Somebody just messaged me tonight and he said, do you have more than one account? And I'm like, okay, I just started searching and I couldn't see any. And my wife looked and says, oh yeah, you're there. So he had the cheek to block me as well, so I couldn't report it.
The thing is, if he's blocked you, hopefully it means he can't steal your shit anymore.
Well, the thing is, well, no, he could unblock me and then come back and then steal a bit more and then block me again.
Yeah.
Rat coming out the,
I mean,
what I've done is you can't download my videos anymore, so
ruins it for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder how Jay-Z and all that deal with it.
There's loads of people who just get cloned all the time. It's just ridiculous. Even on Facebook and Twitter.
Yep.
It's right.
Someone did that to me on. So 2 times it's happened to me. One time I had an old Facebook and I thought, do you know what? This was maybe about 2010, 11. I thought I'm done with Facebook. I deleted it. I was like, right, that's it. Then when I came back to Facebook, I created a new one. I thought, Ken, I was young there. Anything that's there can, right? Probably forgot the password, right? So I've got my Facebook that I still currently have, but some hacker hacked into my old one and then started adding on my current friends, and I was like, oh mate, unbelievable,
Good, isn't it?
right? But eventually that Facebook got taken down, right? But then one time on Twitter, someone had watched a review that I had done on like a piece of equipment on this channel, realized this is who this is, screenshotted my face, used it, and created a Twitter about me, right? And they were like, right, there was 2 Twitters created. One was like, we love Kevin Wells. The other one was just like Kevin Wells, right? And they were messaging me. But do you know what I done? Right? It's like when you watch those videos about people they go and they try and film businesses and the drone and that. I just didn't respond. Give them nothing. Like, give them nothing. They've got nothing to play with. And they deleted it. They got banned. So I was like, eh.
Well, at least
Worked-
you two are
worked
fucking
out.
interesting enough to get cloned. Nobody's even bothered.
J-Mac changed his same fucking name. Janice. Yeah, I mean, Janice says hello, and Matthewman, holla gents. Matthewman, talk about getting cloned. I think you have the same issue as Matthewman. You create a piece of art and it gets punted up on eBay before you even get a chance to do it with yourself. Tell us a wee bit about what you do when it comes to graphics. Do you design a lot of graphics?
Yeah, so I run a personalised gifts company with my wife. We're both graphic
nice.
designers. We do like personalised like bar runners, metal signs, printed roller blinds, cushions. But we do mats for camper vans, caravans, boats, yachts, barges, all that kind of stuff. So we've got generic designs that we've created over the years, and then people can just add the names of the boats, the camper vans, the caravans, or just the surname. So it makes our job a lot easier, and we've got so many different designs on there. So we're on multiple, sites, and that's what we do. But I also, it helps me creating films too. So using Final Cut Pro and everything, I'm self-taught using all these programs. But then with having a creative design background using Photoshop and Illustrator, it kind of go hand in hand. So it just made my life a little bit easier when I was doing that.
Feel free to plug your store.
Yeah, it's Artilicious.
Artilicious.
Artilicious, like this.
Artilicious, ARTY, and then the rest.
There we go.
I was close though, right?
Yeah, we're on
Arty.
and
Right, nice.
Artilicious, yeah, we do some really cool stuff. And I get to work with my wife all day. People ask, how the hell can you work with your wife? It just works.
Do you know, same. I totally get that.
Yeah, it's just weird. So, but
I think. Say it again, sorry?
Sorry, I have my own space. So when I finish work, she goes up upstairs. I go into my man cave, watch a film, chill, watch Yellowstone or something like that, which is a minute because it's such. I haven't seen a show that good since Breaking Bad, to be honest.
Mate, I totally agree, and I finished. Have you not finished Yellowstone? No.
No, I'm season 5. So.
Oh, mate, I've finished it and I've binged everything around it as well. It's Taylor Sheridan, of course. It's well written. That was a phenomenal show, and I totally agree. I even said that to my wife. I said, "There's not been anything as good as this on TV since Breaking Bad." I literally said that to her, so we're quite aligned on that. And by the way, I have people say, "Oh, I would never work with my wife." Right? I hired my wife in my previous job, and I think what I understood. Wait a minute. I work perfectly with my wife. This is probably the best I've ever worked with anybody. And you know why? You work together at home. So why would, you know what I mean? You're just transferring that same energy at work, right?
Yeah, exactly. I literally walk downstairs to work every day. And I'm in my office right now on the computer. This is on the editing and stuff like that. So,
nothing better
can't
than
complain,
no.
I've got friends that complain, but I hate my job and they have to commute every day for like an hour and a half, and I just couldn't even be in the rat race. I just drive me mad.
Yeah.
It's
definitely freedom. It comes out.
It's definitely it's something that I think we would all aspire to, especially working for yourself. Like working for home for a big company, I don't think it's quite the same thing. But when you're doing your own thing for your family, it must be awesome. And the first thing I want to talk about which this is one of the things that I found out after I'd already asked you to come on, was about your filmmaking, which was it was like I was like, oh Jesus, he's into a lot of the same stuff that we are, so this is going to get even better. You've made a few short films. I think the one that you sent me was The Moors, which was your half-hour werewolf movie.
We get a karaoke thing and singing it.
Anytime someone says wolf.
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
Yeah. All the regulars get it.
So, when did you decide that you were going to start making your own films? I mean, I know that you've got the paranormal footage that you captured back in '91, so it looks like you've been playing with cameras for quite a long time. When did you first get the bug?
When my dad used to let me use his video camera when we were kids in the summer holidays, me and my friends would make silly short films together, like the original Jackass, jumping out of trees and throwing a dummy out the tree and then editing it so it gets up and he runs off and that kind of stuff. So it started at a young age, and we made a short film called Ninja Granddads, which was hilarious.
Mate.
And we had some right laughs doing that. And then I kind of forgot about it and got a job doing the 9 to 5 and that kind of thing. And I was just like, I've just always wanted to make movies. I remember seeing American Wealth in London back in, I must have been about 6 years old when I saw that movie. Like 80s, great 80s parenting, There's like, so my mum used to work in a video shop, so we got all the rentals before everybody else got to see them.
What?
So
That's only...
Oh, it was unbelievable. So I like seeing Gremlins, RoboCop, Lost Boys before everybody, all my mates used to pile around because of just awesome. So we had a lot of love for cinema in our house. And then I got to a certain, I think I was about 25, 26, and I started coming up with ideas for films. I'm like, I'm going to start writing screenplays, like short screenplays. And I came up with this one called Abduction, which is a science fiction short film about this little boy that gets taken away, and his mum blames herself, and she turns into alcoholic. She's an alcoholic, and then she kills herself in an overdose. And then 5 years later, her son comes back, and the husband's broken, and it's a shadow of his former self. And then his son just turns up at the back doorstep wearing the same clothes he wore that night because his mum sent him out to get some logs from the back garden for the fire. And it's like, it just tells a story. It's like a different side of a science fiction that you don't really see. But I did all the visual effects and everything in that film myself. So a lot of people are like, how the hell did you do that? Because I'm self-taught with everything I do. So these YouTube tutorials on how to use cameras and cinematography and lighting and everything. Just find out everything on YouTube. I didn't go to film school or anything like that.
Well, technically you did. You just didn't go to the film school, right? Because that is a film school in itself.
Yeah. So I did that shot. I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I brought it out. I'm very privileged because I have friends that are actors like Danny Cunningham, that's been in 24-Hour Party People. He nearly got part of The Hobbit, which is a long story. Talk about that. So Danny was in Abduction. We put it out there, and it just went mental. We won lots of awards in LA for the short film festivals, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this." Because everyone's like, "Oh, it's really good," but I'm very grounded. I'm like, "It's all right." I'm like, "No, it's really good." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then I made a short film called 13, which is a paranormal one based on the shadow ghost from the Barmy Place hauntings from what I caught on video back in 1991. That's 5 minutes long, and that stars my son. It's just a 5-minute shot. It's really creepy, but put that out there. That won loads of awards too, and I'm like, okay. So I went about 5 years, and I've been writing this idea for this werewolf film because I don't know about you guys, but on Baildon, where we live, we have a community group. Like people moan about all sorts of fly tipping, people not picking up after the dogs, people wrecking
Baildon incinerators.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. It's just hilarity. It's just comedy going on there. And the comedy just kind of inspired me for the werewolf film. So I put a spin on it. I'm like, what if I had a werewolf that's got a social conscience? So it's like, you don't like people fly tipping and stuff like that. So basically, I came up with the idea for the Mawson from that. But I've got a nice little twist in there. So it's related to American Werewolf in London too. Yeah. So if you're in American Werewolf in London and you see the end scene, you're like, oh, I can't put any spoilers on here, but that guy, well, I'll tell you after, but unbelievable. But there's an after credit scene as well.
Yep.
which is quite funny. But my son wrote and performed the song "Fear the Growl." Which is funny.
Yes.
But I was very lucky because the guy that designed my werewolf is called Darren Grasby, and he's worked on Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. He's worked with Dominic Brunt on some of his movies. He did Before Dawn and stuff like that. They did all the prosthetic teeth. He's great at practical effects. So Darren built me werewolf as a hobby project, and I've got it in my other room, and it's phenomenal. It's like I just went through practical effects because you can't beat practical effects. CGI is just
100%, 100%.
So yeah, I went through all that and puppeted the scenes that you see of the werewolf in the film. I actually did it. I filmed it all in the other room, just all the lunges and the attack scenes, and then edited it in after. But all the finale scene is filmed at my house, and that's my back garden where they're all being attacked. So I was just very lucky to be surrounded by so many actors and people with so many talents.
Yeah, that's a nice house as well, by the way, man. I was going to ask you where you got a hold of that house. Who let you film in this? That's your own house.
Yeah, it's my own house. Yeah, so I live in Baildon. It's very quiet as well around here, apart from when it's windy. It's unbelievable. But yeah, we've got some amazing views. My house backs onto the moors, so filming location was ideal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a great experience, and I was very lucky. The composer for the moors, it's called Adamo Di Giorgio. He just emailed me out of the blue, and he says, "Oh, I've seen Abduction. I want to work with you." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Have you got some, portfolio or a link you can send me to your website?" So it sends me this link, and he's like, "Boom." He's worked on the Twilight Zone TV show for Jordan Peele. He did Netflix. He did all the soundtracks for that. Badland with Russell Crowe that's on Amazon Prime. I'm like, wait, what? He wants to work for... I said, mate, I ain't got a Hollywood budget. He says, no, I'm a fan of your work. Put a credit on the end, and I'll do it for free. I'm like, wait, what?
Wow, that's class, isn't it?
Okay, it goes to show the quality of what you're putting out as well. I mean, if people like that are getting in touch with you to actively seek you out to work with, and it's a sign that you're doing something right.
Yeah, and I did all the drones. I bought a drone myself, got a DJI Mini 2 to do all the
DJIs are phenomenal. I did wonder during that opening sequence.
Yeah, so I did all that myself. I lost the drone about 3 times. It kept landing in different random places, but I got my head around it. I did the scenes, and yeah, I was just very lucky to have this on my doorstep, and just kind of using my house. But it was a pain in the ass when we first started filming, because it's all outdoors, and the British weather being the way it is.
Yeah,
trying to get everybody together on a weekend, because people go on the film on a weekend. For the weather to be right, people to be ready all at the same time. It just kept. We had to keep cancelling shoots. It just went it. So it can't rain, it can't be windy, and literally bail them all. That's all it ever does. And getting the lighting right as well. That was a difficult one, but we got there.
Yeah.
It looks good, man. It was good fun to watch. I actually think I said to you when you sent me the link originally, I said I think I'd actually come across it before, because I quite often I'll go onto YouTube and just search for British short horror films, and I'm pretty certain that I'd seen it or at least some of it before. It's like when you've got kids, you start watching something, then 2 minutes later you're fucked. You don't get a chance to finish it. But no, I really enjoyed it. And you said your son did the closing credit music as well.
Yeah, he did it with the band is in Into the Mystic. He does a lot of pub gigs, and I give him the opportunity. I says I could get the composer to do this song, but I says, Harvey, do you want to have a go at it and write a song? And he just literally wrote it in about half an hour. Song, Feel It Out. He's just a really good writer, and he's very modest, and he's like, oh, that's really good, and he's like, yeah, it's all right. It's one of these kids, mate.
I think we're all
on stage, but everyone's like, oh, he's does he now? Because he's tried telling him, he's like, amazing, and he's like, oh, cheers, and he just kind of walks off. It's just all laid back, which is probably better to be like that than the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all guilty of being our own harshest critics. You know what I mean? In fact, you said it yourself. Yep.
Yeah. When I finished them, I was like, oh, I could have done that better. I could have done this, because there's little Easter eggs in there as well. I don't know when they're like, do you know when Peter, the property developer's been attacked, and it's walking towards him, spoiling it for everybody else, but never mind. And you see the teeth kind of bearing down. It's like the shot of the xenomorph in Alien, when it gets burnt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Shots like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought little Easter eggs in there, but a lot of people got them. But it's the American Werewolf in London link that people totally related to, and I'm like, see, that could have been a sequel. They could have done that themselves, but
Yeah, they did quite a poor sequel. Did you ever see the American Werewolf in Paris?
Paris, yes. It was on the other night, and the CGI. It's like the CGI in Blade. Do you know? Blade was brilliant. Saw it at the cinema, and then the Blood God. Did they run out of money for the effects? Because it was just like some Amiga graphics or something. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's true. With the skeletons bursting out of them and just pixelated to fuck, and it looked horrific.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So have you got? I mean, that's obviously the last short film that you made. Hang on a minute. What's
Wolfman's Got Nards says An American Werewolf in Paris is fantastic, and I will die on that hill.
I think he's surely messing with us. I don't know if
you've heard
of Wolfman's Got Nards, Adam, but he's like the biggest kind of horror movie channel in the UK, and we always assume that when he tells us that something's good when we think it's bad. Kevin, I think you said it when you said we didn't watch it properly. That's
right. He's very good at convincing you watched it wrong.
Yeah, and I think that with American Werewolf in Paris.
Pictures. I saw American Werewolf in Paris at the pictures, and I was like,
you poor boy, you paid for it.
I was in stitches. I genuinely loved it. I have a video defending it. Seriously amazing stuff. Drop the link in the comments, please, Nards, and I'll need to watch that. We'll all need to watch that.
the Monster Squad. Now that is a movie.
The Monster. Well, that's
Shane Black. Was that?
Yeah, yep. That's
Wolfman's
that's
Got
his
Nards.
favourite film, isn't it?
I was jealous of that. The den that had in the tree house at there.
Oh yeah, we all wanted a proper treehouse when we were kids. We all had dens. In fact, you mentioned it in one of your videos I watched recently. It's like one of the things you did when you were a kid. You go out and you play, you get dirty, you get filthy, you build a den, then you come home, you get a takeaway, and you go to Blockbuster. And
and then you go back to the den and it's been destroyed, and there's Johnny's and hair gel and dirty mags left in it, and you're like, all my hard work.
I thought I took them home.
A dead cat, that's right. Oh gosh. You know what's I was watching a couple of your TikToks earlier, and one you touched upon was, and we've spoke about that many times on this show, J-Mac. I worked for Blockbuster no long before it went down. Go figure. No, I'm joking. But
it was your fault. That's what it was.
Of course it was, right? But we are probably, my generation, it's probably the last generation that recalls what that feeling that you were describing is like. Going to, I've said it many times here as well. I remember getting Dragonheart. I went to get Dragonheart and I got the wrong tape because I thought it was something else. But we used to go into video stores and purely base what we're going to watch based on the cover art. So that's when cover art was really, truly a magnificent thing. We would do that. The smelly popcorn that hits you. You know, you look around, there's nothing but families in there all deciding what movies to get. Saying to yourself, I'd like to get in there and take it out again so I can watch it for a whole nother week. Same type of feeling. It's just something that's lost now, isn't it?
It gives me goosebumps when I think about it, because it's like, it's so cool. I remember when my mum stopped working in the video shop. I wasn't 18 at the time. So I was probably about 14 when she stopped. And she used to write me a note to say it's okay for him to rent out 15 and 18 movies. I'm like, sign it. I'm like, this is just brilliant. So I would go into the video shop, and they used to do that. I mean, they wouldn't do that in this day and age, but
no, I used to get cigarettes from my gran for the ice cream van, and I didn't even need a note. They knew I was her grandson.
Weirdly enough, you never smoked.
Yeah,
never.
I showed my son a videotape over there. So, do you know what that is? I was just nostalgic moment. He says, "Is it a pencil case?" And I looked at him. It's a video, right? You put it in there, and they're telling about the top loader with the VCR. Do you remember they had the wired remote control and stuff like that? And it's like, and I said that the family TV were like a 21-inch TV with a massive back. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
he's spoiled now. We've got a 75-inch TV in the front room, and he's flat screen. He just doesn't get it, and he's spoiled with Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, and that. And it's just ridiculous, isn't it? The amount of choice we've got. But I ain't watching something I've seen 1,000 times anyway on physical media. I just don't want to take the chance with something in this day and age. The new stuff, it's garbage. The movies these days, to be honest with you, there's nothing really.
It's really bad, man. Like I had a look at the cinema listings yesterday to see if I could maybe get some time away from the family. I was just going to piss off to the cinema by myself because I love doing that. By the way, do you ever do that? Do you ever go to the cinema by yourself?
10
o'clock in the morning. You get the cinema to yourself, so you can focus on the film. You got nobody crunching on popcorn like Mr. Eddie in a bucket of carrots, and you've got nobody on the mobile phones, and you've got you just got it to you can focus on the film. I just don't get why people go to the cinema, spend £16 on a ticket or £10 or whatever, and then talk through it or go on the phone. What's that?
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
It's a lost art. The ability to just sit and watch something is gradually being depleted. I think unfortunately, I think things like TikTok and Facebook Reels and stuff is partly responsible. But I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like attention spans just aren't what they used to be. It's like you have to look at your phone. And it does piss me off. But another good thing about going to the cinema by yourself is you don't have to worry about what the person you're sitting with thinks of the film. And you've got the option just if you don't like it, you could just get up and piss off and nobody will say anything to you. I actually did that. Kevin and I and my brother-in-law and Kevin's mate, we all went to see the midnight screening of the Rise of Skywalker.
I'm your grandfather.
And an hour in, I think it was when the ship was trying to take off and they thought Chewbacca was on it and she used the Force to pull it back down. I just
she never even went to Dagobah.
I just left. I said, sorry, man, this is fucking crap. But
I was like, bye, Jibber. Goodbye.
I had exactly the same thing when I went to go see The Phantom Menace back in 1999. I was so excited.
Lucky man.
And I'm like, it's going to be this. And then I saw Jar Jar Binks and I'm like, what in the Jim Henson is going on here? Looked at my friend and he's like, we didn't leave, but about 3 days later, I was healed by The Matrix. Went to see The Matrix in cinema 3 days later, and that film just blew me away. And I was just like, totally forgot about Star Wars then. But
that'll take the taste out your mouth.
I came out the pictures after watching Phantom Menace so angry. I'm like, what has he done? Why?
I defend Phantom Menace. I loved it. Remember when Phantom Menace came out? I was still like, what is that? That was 1999, wasn't it? I was like 8. So
did you watch the originals first, or would that be first Star Wars?
Of course, no. I had obviously watched the originals, and I loved them. But this was my time, like the Goonies. That was their time. This is our time. This was my time to get Star Wars, like catered to me when I'm alive. So I was all for it. Attack of the Clones, I enjoyed that. Revenge of the Sith, man.
Oh. that was the only one of those three that I liked.
I loved it. It was fucking excellent.
Do you watch the Disney Plus ones? The Kenobi one and the...
Kenobi was excellent. The first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were great. The first book of Boba Fett was excellent. The rest I've just really no time for now.
Yeah, just going a bit sideways, aren't they?
Yeah. And we've had quite a few of the actors on this. On our friend... what's her name?
Misty Rosa.
Misty. Yeah, really nice. She plays Quill. And a few others. Quill, I have spoken. Who it's Nick Nolte that voices, but she does the puppetry and all that. So we've had Nick Maley who created the man himself, the big Tam, Yoda. So we've all right. Say again.
I've got my Star Wars figures somewhere. I think I've given them to my son when he was younger to play with, and he's got them in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I had a ton more than what I've got in here. But my wife was like, what are you going to do with them? I'm like, all right, give them to the kids. So they're in toy boxes now, which pains me, but I just don't go. I just don't go in there and look. I just exist in my own wee bubble. I don't pay any attention to the fact that
I never had any Star Wars figures.
It's because you were a Trekkie.
I do have my bully. I'm happy with my bully. That's my bendy bully that I got for my 40th birthday. The thing is, it's actually fucked. But
A bendy bully.
always liked Bullseye. I'm watching it again recently because it's on Challenge. But look at this. Look at this. Right, the paint's all flaking off it. It kind of adds to the charm, and it still makes the noises. you can't beat it, man.
Mate, I'll go one better. Look what I found the other day.
I'm in the wrong room. I should be in the cinema room. I've got a full-size gremlin in there and my werewolf and everything.
I've never seen. I've seen the werewolf. I've seen you show that on the TikTok, but I've never seen your full-size gremlin.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, you have a full-size gremlin?
Yeah. I'll have to leave the room, but then, yeah, it won't be very good on the track.
Oh no, I think we can allow it. Me and Kevin can fill the spot if you want to get your gremlin.
You can't beat a bit of bully. Oh, hell yeah. Mate. I've got a gremlin. I've got Gizmo.
I like how you just walked into space there. That was awesome.
I got a couple of Grammys around me as well. Some
Couple of Gremos.
look, hey. Look,
wonder
it's Wallace. Look.
Have you seen that video? Have you seen the video with Millie Bobby Brown when she's eating a carrot and she looks totally like Wallace at the end? Oh, look at this.
No way. Oh, that's excellent.
Paranormal.
It's disappeared. There we go.
Yes. Keep going.
Damn, that might have cost you a bit.
Trick or Treat Studios have got this.
Right.
As well. So he's fully.
Am I right in thinking they're closing now, aren't they? They've gone bust. They've genuinely gone bust. I think. Nice. That's phenomenal. I've got a teddy, but nowhere near as cool as that of Gizmo. We done a special Christmas gremlin deep dive with our woman here, Janice. You can send that gremlin to me, laughing my ass off. Janice lives out in Indiana, so she wants your gremlin.
I can't believe they've gone bust. They just did Gremlins 2, the new batch, the Mogwais.
Yeah.
As Lee Francis were on about them, they sent him some freebies, and he just did some TikTok videos showing them, and he's like, he opened them up, and the unboxing, all the ears were broken, so it was kind of embarrassing for him, but I didn't want to.
And they wonder they're going into business.
Is that where you got your hoverboard as well? He's got a proper hoverboard replica.
It's actually Lee Francis that sent me a link to that because I saw he had one for a while, and when he was doing one of his videos where he makes like costumes and stuff, I saw it in the background, and I just said, "Where did you get your hoverboard from?" Because the ones I've seen are like £400, some sites. And he sent me a link. I've got it on here somewhere. No, I've not got it on top of here. Well, it cost me £45. So
seriously,
yeah, I'll send you. I'll find the link after this, and I'll send you.
That's
cool.
awesome, man.
Yeah,
I'd love to have that hanging on my wall.
Just need to add the Mattel stickers on it, so it's got to be, movie accurate.
Yeah, I quite like Back to the Future as well.
What's the skateboard in your background, J-Mac?
Believe it or not, that's my son's skateboard, and it got dumped in here earlier, and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to put it up against the wall. It looks a wee bit nostalgic, but it's fucking weird looking, eh? It's a weird shape. I've never seen a skateboard like that before.
I thought that it was you who hates grown men on skateboards. I was like, tell me you've no went and got a skateboard.
Of course.
Next you'll be drinking Starbucks while fucking skating down the street like Bart Simpson.
Oh, Kevin took this so personally. I mentioned on last week's episode.
I never took it personally.
You fucking did.
I didn't. Really I thought I'm going to wind you up. I never took it personally because it's not true.
It is true, and you took it personally.
I never took it personally.
Yeah. I think like if you go to Starbucks and go to the drive-through and drink it on your way to work, that's different from making sure that you've got one to walk around with in the town every morning. Look at me, I'm drinking Starbucks.
So you can drink it in your car, but not drink it outside your car. Then
you can pick your nose in your car as well, and nobody gives a shit. It's the same thing.
Nah, so it's funny.
My opinion. It's just my opinion.
It's funny. I've used it all week. I even was like, right, I can't have Starbucks anymore, so I had to get an official JJ cup in order to drink a Starbucks. But it's funny. I actually found a Fortnite toy. I'd have to show you the video, but it was a good video, J-Mac, right?
Is that what it was? A Fortnite toy? I didn't even.
I believe it was. Do you like Fortnite, Adam?
My son used to play. I played like Modern Warfare online. Don't do the campaigns or anything like that. Still a gamer. So.
Well, I would say I'm a gamer, but no in the sense like I don't play Call of Duty. I suck at Fortnite. I've tried it with my kids. I get my ass handed to me. Dead by Daylight's quite fun. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, quite decent. But I still play like GameCube and PlayStation. And
What was your first console, Adam? Or what was your first games machine?
I'm going to show my age now. It was the Atari 2600.
I had one of those. I had
It was
one of
my
those.
dad, yeah, so we had like Doctor Pac-Man, Mrs. Batman, Pitfall.
Did you have Jungle Hunt?
Yes.
That was a great game. There was Circus as well.
Yeah.
Joust.
No, I didn't have that, no.
Joust is class.
E.T., which was one of the worst games ever made on the
Mate, isn't it right?
Yeah.
They landfilled that. They put them all in a landfill because they were like, "This is so shit."
Yeah, so
I remember I played that game in hospital. I was in hospital when I was about 5 to fuck it, I'll just say it, to get my foreskin cut away from my bell end. It was stuck. It was stuck.
You've not that easy, have you?
I really haven't. I've had a rough time of it. But I was in hospital for that when I was a kid.
God.
And I remember they had a games room for the kids wing at the hospital, and they had it was. I think it was an Atari 2600 they had there, and E.T. was the only game they had, and I was like, fuck, the only place you can play this is where it's been donated because it's crap.
It's crazy though. I actually still play it because what console is it that I've got? I've got a Raspberry Pi, which I'll play for fun. But don't get me wrong, I still have old consoles, right? But during lockdown, I literally collected like so much of my childhood again. But I've went back and played it. And I see myself getting lost, just taking the wee dot into the next bit, dot into the next bit. There's a beauty in simplicity, I think. And you said that in one of your TikToks as well, didn't you, Adam? You're saying that there was beauty in something so simple. We were talking about physical media and why you still have physical media. I agree. I've got tons, thousands of Blu-rays and DVDs. Don't have any more VHSs. I did go through a stage of collecting them, but I had to get rid of them because I didn't have an office. It was in my office, but I didn't have an office anymore. So everything I had got donated.
I've been duplicating my DVDs. I've been converting them into getting the Blu-rays. So I've got like obviously both medias.
Yeah.
It's important because it's like Netflix and stuff like that, especially Amazon. You make your virtual hard list, don't you? It's films you're going to watch. Mm-hmm. And then you'll go back a couple of months later to watch it, and it won't be there anymore because they've taken it off. At least with physical media, it's always there, and you can watch it whenever you want. And
the 5.1 surround as well. Like on Netflix, they say 5.1, but I'm like, I am 5.1 enabled here. I hear fuck all 5.1. Why are you lying, Netflix?
Yeah.
Another thing that pisses me off, I don't know, you must have noticed this, Adam, as well. Anytime you're streaming a movie, especially a new movie, the sound mix is fucking terrible. It's so loud when there's action going on and so quiet when people are talking.
Yeah, I noticed that with Evil Dead. Do you see the new Evil Dead? Where they're in the apartment. It's really filmed really dark. And I'm like, is something wrong with I was checking the settings on my TV and turning the brightness up and stuff like that. We just filmed it. The lighting, whoever did that and the colour grading was just like, one second because it just, you're like, thinking, hell, what's going on? And the sound as well looked really quiet, and then it really loud. But you're jumping out of the skin, and my wife's upstairs going, "Is there an earthquake? What's going on?" Because obviously I've got 5-to-1 the sound, and you can't gauge your sound. You don't know what level to have it on because it's up and bloody down. But yeah, you're right. It does happen with a lot of movies. I tell you, one of the worst ones. It was back in the 90s. It's Christopher Walken film, King of New York. The sound on that is terrible. It's like it's been done in a tin can. It's a great movie, but the sound is just it's so bad.
I know of that one, but I've never actually seen it. It is a good film, yeah?
It's a good film, but the sound is just terrible on it.
I was watching one of your TikToks earlier, and it made me think a little bit. And it was, you were saying that you went to see a sequel in the cinema. It was one of the best sequels you ever saw. It was Terminator 2, Judgment Day, which for me, I consumed Terminator 2 already on VHS because I wasn't alive, was I, when it came out? It was 1991.
Maybe just alive.
So I was like, I was 0 years old when it came out, so I never got to see it in the cinema, right? But what it made me think about was, well, okay, here was a time which was risky because Terminator was such a hit that on the second one you went into the cinema expecting another Terminator movie, and instead Terminator's the good guy, and you got to experience that in the cinema as you watched it. There was no spoilers, nothing.
You thought Arnie's going to kill John Connor and Sarah Connor. Oh, they've no chance. And I thought obviously the 1000 was not. He was just like Kyle Reese. And then when he flipped it and he went, "Come with me if you want to live," we're like,
Right.
And liquid metal in the hospital, and he's like going through the bars and that, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? And the whole cinema silence.
I wish I could have experienced that. For the Terminator.
When he's got the minigun.
Wow.
What a film. I went back 5 times to see it, and obviously
Gosh.
didn't have much money back then because obviously I was a kid, but yeah, I found a way.
Yeah. And you know, so when I watched that, I was like, so what films have like got you like that? And I can only think of one in the last 30 odd years, and it was Split. Because you're watching Split thinking this is just an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and then Bruce Willis shows up at the end, and you're like,
Yeah.
I found that out before I seen it. That pissed me off.
see again the joys of having no internet back in the 90s.
Spoilers everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Aye.
totally.
Fucking this boy, he's terrible for it.
Aye, right, me.
You know,
Don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. Do you know, it's funny. In a group chat, myself, J-Mac and Matthewman, right? So Matthewman will be like, "Oh, it's a shame that you've spoiled something for J-Mac." But then he'll say, "Have you seen this?" And then before you know it, we're like 12 messages deep with a full film. Like literally talking about the full film. And then at the end of it, Matthewman's like, "Oh, forget J-Mac's no scene."
Like, scroll, skip.
Every time. Dragon Egg Film says, "I Split, bang on, 100%." Do you know? I'm trying to think if there's any others.
Do you remember Sixth Sense? Bruce Willis in?
Nah, because that's just a twist. It's a good twist. But like where you said there, right, that you were totally expecting one thing from the Terminator, and then they flip it, right? That like I can imagine the cinema gasping at that. Same with Bruce Willis.
From Dusk Till Dawn. I did the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, it's element of surprise. So me and my friends we went to see a film about a bank robbery directed by Robert Rodriguez, and we're like, "Oh yeah, Tarantino's in it, George Clooney, this is cool." They get to twisting, and like, "This is a wild bar." It reminded me of like Double Deuce in Roadhouse or something like that. And then all of a sudden it goes a bit weird, and you're like, and they all turn into vampires, and you're like, the whole cinema like, what the actual? I mean, we didn't get spoiled with trailers back then. We didn't see the best thing is go to the cinema, don't watch the trailer, just go in.
Yep,
no expectations.
100%.
It was just a crazy film.
Yeah. What's that? Bonkers Twist. That good shout. Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn was a quick change of pace, wasn't it? What other great films have really had you feeling like you were going one way and then it just The Substance?
I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, I just watched it today for the second time. It is absolute madness, man. It's very David Cronenberg. Like it's got that. In fact, is it not directed by his son or something?
Yes, it is.
Is it? I might be wrong in that.
I will get round to seeing it. I've got.
You have to.
My digital hard list.
It's so good. Oh, what about that one? Do you know that one? Is it On the Line with Mel Gibson? On the Line.
He's a radio host. He's like a late night radio host, and basically some shit goes down when he's on live radio, and it's actually objectively a terrible film, but it was good fun.
I disagree, mate. I was like, how are they going to get out of this now? Oh, I was on the edge of my seat, mate, the whole way through it, and then I went, fuck. This was my reaction, right? It's not a spoiler, but I went like this. Fuck off, you ballsy fucker. You ballsy fuckers. And then I went like that. I went, well, fucking done. So that was my response. So if that makes you want to go watch it, then nothing better, I think.
The some indie horror films that I've seen that I quite like, and a lot of people don't, but I like. Have you seen Talk to Me?
Yeah.
Loved Talk to Me. That was great.
It was good.
A lot of people hate on that film, and I think it's really good.
That's I love as well the concept. That Talk to Me concept can last forever. It's like Jumanji. Like, I know they eventually made more films, right? But they could, with the concept, it never has to have the same character. It doesn't have to be set in the same place. It could be about anybody, but you could take the concept of it.
Yeah. Do you know what's great about that film, Talk to Me? What I love about it is the original idea. Because
Totally.
so films, I'm so sick to death of remakes, and they don't even get it right when they do them. And when I saw that, it's like, this is original. It's like It Follows. A lot of people don't like It Follows. And I thought it was pretty damn good.
It Follows is one of my favourite, mate. Are you joking? Do you know how much shit I get when I don't even mention it now? But do you know how much I have to defend that?
Creepy.
It Follows, mate. It Follows is an STD that will kill you. Right? It's basically AIDS.
Fucking hell.
Right?
Right.
No, it is.
It's in VHS.
I think that's one that I actually kind of
VHS.
skipped out on.
VHS was great fun. I actually seen.
I've heard only good things about it.
There's I watched. They've got the most recent one. I can't even remember what it was called. But they've got a sequence with some skydivers that encounter a UFO, and it's fucking bonkers, man. It's done like found footage, like obviously most of the VHS stuff, and it's really well put together. It's really quite effective and fucking horrible as well. And there's this weird sequence at the beginning with a giant demonic bird. It's like VHS is bonkers, but like they're bloody good fun. Actually, that's a good question. Are you a fan of films that are so bad that they're good?
We are.
I know somebody that's into this guy that I know is a producer. He's into his Italian horror and stuff like that, really bad films. And he's tried to get me on board with it, and I'm like, no, sorry, no, I can't do it.
Totally love it.
I love indie horror because it's a lot of original ideas. But what I don't like is, like I was saying, remakes. I don't understand how they can get it so wrong. So they did like Firestarter, didn't they? And The Fog and films like that. And it's just like, they've got the blueprints from the original movie right there, and they still managed to mess it up.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
There are a good few remakes that were good. Yeah, Dragon Egg Films. Judson says, love Talk to Me. Really, really good. Reign of Horror says, hope everyone is doing well. You too, my friend. Dragon Egg, yeah, bonkers that too, man. It Follows, really freaky. I'd love to see a sequel. Matthewman says, the VHS movies are great fun. Some shite, but some belters, I agree. So, by the way...
There's like 5 or 6 stories, or 5 or 6 kind of segments in each one,
It's
and
like-
you probably get 2 good ones in each.
Yeah, it's like Creepshow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Creepshow
Black
2.
Mirror.
Creepshow 2
It's a
is my
good
favourite.
comparison, actually.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery, I felt like that was done well. The remake. Makes you, again... Oh, but here's the thing. So you don't know what happens in it then?
I've seen the original, but I refuse to watch remakes when I've watched so many. I saw the Roadhouse one with Conor McGregor in, and I was just
It was fun. It was fun. What the fuck's going on here, Danny? By the way, Pet Cemetery, the remake, has a Terminator moment in it where you go. Because what's funny is my wife and I were chatting a wee bit before it, and I was like, yeah, this is what happens. She's like, I didn't want to watch the original because it's quite old, which offends my soul, right? But I was like, trust me. She's like, what is that? I says, there's a wee kid, Gage Creed, he gets done in off a lorry, take him up then, and then they made the sequel with Edward Furlong and the OG Clancy Brown and all that. So I'm like, yeah, this will be the same. And then we're like, oh, there's the wee boy. The wee boy doesn't die! The wee boy doesn't die!
Oh, I'm not watching it then.
Mate!
Gotta kill a kid.
Kevin, you're going to have to stop yourself.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they kill a kid. Just they don't kill Gage.
Right.
They don't kill Gage. And I thought, I went like this to my wife,
I get so much shit for killing off my young dog in the mall.
I saw that.
Twisted man. It's like he's getting dead. You know.
Imagine killing off your own dog. You know the golden rule, you're not supposed to kill dogs in films. Dragon Egg sequels, yes. That one, do you know what? It would. It Follows would work in anything. I think It Follows. I need to talk more about that film at some point because it's a great film. By the way, I had a conversation with my two daughters earlier, right? And they were my daughter Rosie, she's 5. She goes, "Dad, do you know that they eat dogs in other countries?" And I'm like, "Do you not fancy a?" I goes, "Do you not fancy a dog burger?" She's like, "No, I don't want them to kill dogs." And I says, "What if we sold our dog, and then we'll get lots of pennies for them, and then they can eat our dog?" And both of the girls are like, "No, no, no." The older one, Gracie, she's 7, like, "Oh, no, no." I says, "But think about it. You get tons of LOL dolls." Gracie's like, "Okay, we'll sell them." Literally, she's like, "Wait a minute. I can get a lot of LOL dolls with the money that we sell our dog for."
Sorry, what the
so
fuck
she was
is
on
an
board.
LOL doll?
It's it's equivalent of what Barbie was when we were kids. They're Barbie dolls, but they're LOL. It's this generation's Barbie.
Oh, right.
The-
So, shite.
Overpriced shite. But I'm like, think of all those LOLs you could get. And she's like, "Take my dog." Rosie's like, "No, not the dog."
Adam loves his dog. I've seen plenty of videos with your dog in it. Is it Logan? Is that your dog's name?
Logan, yeah. He plays himself in the film. But
It does, because his name's Logan in the film. Right?
He just did everything that what he would. He actually is in Abduction as well. Let's go on that. So like the UFO's flying over the conservatory, and the wife runs in. It's like he's flying over the conservatory, and the dog just runs in right in queue and starts barking at something that's not there.
Class.
I was like, "Oh, you absolute legends!" So oh my God.
I hope he's got a SAG card.
Yeah, he's on IMDb page.
Yes, like Nunuk.
Yeah.
Who was played by two dogs, by the way. You know that
Right.
Nunuk was two dogs. It was G that told me that because he actually got to meet with the dog that was Nunuk. Nice, huh?
Another film that tried to do the sequels to it, and it didn't work, did it? So it was just
Well. By the way, that was 2008 because I remember seeing it came out on Warner Premiere. The minute I was like, "Oh, a Lost Boys sequel," and then I was like, "Warner Premiere, oh no, it's not going to go into the cinema." Because I was like, "Why would you do a Lost Boys sequel and not have it go in the cinema?" So it's like they automatically were like, "You know what? This is going to be shit anyway, but let's put it out, right?" Tad Hallenberg, who was he was in American Pie Bandcamp, and then a girl for like Dawson's Creek or something.
Sounds great.
I was so excited, right? And Aiden, the band Aiden, had covered "Cry Little Sister," and I thought, "Oh, interesting." I was excited. Hey, Angus Sutherland, it's Kiefer Sutherland's little brother, actually plays the vampire. So I thought, right. Then we add in that it's got Corey Feldman, which makes any project better, and
one of these
so-
playing the guitar, yeah.
wait, that's the best part. But I was kind of excited about it, but I wouldn't say. I mean, it's hard. You standing in a huge shadow. But I remember being so excited to see that it was a Lost Boys sequel. But then I met G. The first time I ever met G, first thing I said to him was, "Cry Little Sister for the sequel. What did you think?" And he went, "It was all right, but I preferred Marlon Manson." And I says, "Oh, really?" I says, "Aye." I says, "What?" I said, "I thought it was quite good. What? You know, the lead singer of Aiding was a bit of a prick, so I kind of against it for that reason." And I was like, "Oh, okay then, fair enough." But that was always a question I wanted to ask, and I got the answer nonetheless.
Talking about disappointments, do you remember Shane Black wrote The Predator? The new one?
Yeah, mate.
And he directed it, and I was so excited.
Mate.
Like,
Yeah, me too.
He's going to direct the new one. This is going to be awesome. I went to the cinema. I came out of there wanting to beat somebody up. I was so pissed off. What the fuck is it? How does he do that? He just kiss, bang, bang, long kiss, good night. The Nice Guys. He wrote Lethal Weapon, The Last Boy Scout, and then he does that to something he was in. I just don't understand what he was thinking. Studio took over, you think? Creative. I don't know what he did, but oh my God.
It was all over the place, man. It was Kevin. When we saw that, we went to the cinema to see that together, didn't we, Kevin?
Held hands and everything. It was beautiful.
Yeah, did the old popcorn trick.
Yes, I'm
You got a smoked sausage in there.
Which I've seen him walk into an establishment munching on a sausage. By the way,
I love sausage.
He does.
the sausage.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that.
But there was the part where the kid finds the predator's. Does he find the predator's mask and put it on?
Yes.
And then he accidentally blows up another kid. And like it's supposed to be like a oh shit moment. Kevin, you've heard Kevin laugh on this podcast. Multiply that by 10 and imagine that in a pretty busy cinema when nobody else is laughing. And you've got quite a good idea of the embarrassment that was going right down to my asshole when that happened. It was like, shut up, man. But yeah, it was a fucking bad film.
I don't know. Nards, Matthewman, defend me here a wee bit. Mon Judson. I don't think The Predator was that bad. I quite enjoyed it. And by the way, what were we expecting? Were we expecting OG Predator? Something that cannot really be replicated? What were we expecting?
Well, Prey was a lot better.
Prey was class.
I agree on that. That was brilliant. That's really good.
That's how you do it right. What I loved about it as well was the fact that they actually, because it was set along a couple of hundred years ago, they actually kind of what's the word? They reduced the amount of technology that the Predator had. Like instead of having the laser guns, it was firing arrows and stuff like that, which I thought was really clever. I loved that film. I've seen it about 3 times, I think.
But wait a minute though, right? When you think about it, like they're supposedly so advanced. So even in the times where they were like, creating fire with sticks, surely they'd still be more advanced.
Oh, they still use the laser guidance. They still use the wee triangle, for the target.
Aye.
They shot big metal arrows.
He was still, bouncing the light off him, and he flew down in a ship that had, camouflage. But yet he's got these kind of weapons that he had. But what I loved about it is the link to Predator 2.
The gun.
Where he gets the gun that Danny Glover were given at the end of Predator 2, and I thought I liked that. A nice little scene there. I enjoyed Prey. I think it was great. I think there's one. I don't know if this is crap, but somebody's saying Badlands Predator's coming out. Is that something that's happening? It's based in World War One or something?
I think I looked into that and it was a fake poster.
This is a thing. There's so many fake posters.
Matthewman.
It was a good poster, and it looked. I mean, imagine Predator in World War One. Don't know, fighting with the Allies against the Nazis or something. That would be fucking amazing.
Opening scene like Saving Private Ryan on Omaha Beach, but Predator's there just taking them out.
Oh, mate.
That's a great idea. If somebody doesn't jump on that and make it, they're making a big fucking mistake.
All Matthewman needs to do is make a poster, and as we've seen, these posters become fucking movies. At least, say again.
I could do that. Do fake posters just for a laugh.
Oh,
do it.
You never know what might come of it. Sometimes things can happen.
Especially when you've come on this podcast. There's a magic rub that comes for this podcast. I'm telling you, right? So many folk have gone on to do things that originate here. That's the truth.
Nothing ever happens for us, but everybody else gets.
We're here every week at 9 p.m. Everyone else is away to Hollywood on the red carpet. Oh, that'd be crazy. Man. But it's basically you're manifesting it, aren't you? When you put something out there on a poster, an idea, you manifest that. Matthewman done it. Saturday Bite Fever. He manifested an idea, and a director, a guy from his name's Simon. Many films he's been in that you'll have seen. He was like, he came on this episode, and then Matthewman created the poster. I sent it to him and was like, "Look at this," and he was like, "That's the sequel to my film." And it's now in production. It's fucking mental. It's crazy.
Like on YouTube, you see some short films, and there's one called Lights Out that was a short film, and it's like you turned on.
Yeah.
And then it's James Wan directed it. Warner Brothers got hold of it and made a feature film out of it. It wasn't great, but that's like you say, it's one of them stories.
No, it was like a lot of more recent horror films. It was a good film up until the last 20 minutes, and then it just shut the bed. Which happens all too often. There must be a secret to a good ending that a lot of people haven't got a grasp of yet.
Stephen King says that. What film?
Because his endings are terrible.
The Mist. The ending on
The Mist. Oh, mate, that was a great ending.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, that's great. That's what I'm saying.
Devastating.
You're on about scenes that just like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was in fact. My mate Lee, who's a massive Stephen King fan, has never seen The Mist, I'm like,
What's
I
he
was like,
playing
what are
at
you
me?
doing? It's
Slap
one of
him.
the best adaptations that's out there. In fact, he's sitting right next to me, so he's going to look around at me in a second and realise that I'm
Ah,
talking
good.
about him. He's not
I
living
didn't
with
even
me.
know.
He's not living with me again. He's here for the night.
There for some smoked sausage.
Not smoked. There's the Predator laugh. That's what I got in the cinema.
By the way, the new It films, part 1 and 2, those were great remakes, I thought.
Yeah, I prefer the remakes to the originals.
Yep.
Not taking anything
I understand
away
that.
from Tim Curry was a great Pennywise, but
The
he
man.
just didn't look that scary to me. But the new one, I just my son sees. My son loves horror, and he's seen them, and he's like, he just loves it. And then I showed him the original after, and he's like, "What the hell is this?"
See, I describe the original one now as like an
For
episode.
TV.
It's like an episode of Goosebumps.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, I'd say.
I agree.
It's
know,
poor.
My wife, I said to her, I says, what did you think of that first? This was before the part 2 came out. And she said, you know, it's a horror film that makes you laugh, cry, and shit yourself. I was like, that's a real fair assessment. We had Brandon Crane. He was in part 2. He was originally Ben Hanscom in the original miniseries. You know, the fat one. He came on this show and
it's
talked
actually
about that.
advanced calorie human now.
Advanced calorie human. Matthew Wolfman says, "Laugh, cry, and shit yourself at the same time."
Is that a coincidence?
2017 is one of my favourite horror movies.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, look at you, J-Mac. That was quite passive aggressive. Awesome. Right, next.
It's awesome.
Aye, right. So, right. And did anybody ask? Nards.
You've tried to create beef here that doesn't exist. This is
Go
a
back.
vegan show.
Go back, and you went like this. You went, awesome. Anyway.
I didn't mean to do that. If that's what I did. Sorry.
No, that was an excellent. It was excellent. It had a Stranger Things element. Would you agree? The feeling of friendship,
Nostalgia.
real camaraderie, and nostalgia. But like so little, so many films nowadays. Do you ever find it? And this is to ask both of you, right? But do you ever find it when you're watching films nowadays? You're like, I don't give a fuck if this guy gets killed. Like I actually don't care. You don't. There's not that same pull where you're really gutted or hoping that your characters don't die or gutted when they
You get annoyed
do.
by the stupid decision making in the film, and you're like, just
Yeah. Oh, you did that. Fucking Ender now. I'll be gutted. See, in fact, I'm raging if she doesn't die. Fucking die. Yeah, I feel like if she doesn't die, I'm not rating it.
Well, it's an old one, but Jaws 2, there's a girl in that, she's just screaming her head off the whole time on the stuff on the boat. It's like, just throw her in the water, because if I were there, I'd have drop kicked her in the water. The shark.
Mate, have you seen Jaws for the Revenge?
Yes.
Oh, what a gold mine! What a gold! We reviewed it, and I think some of our best clips came from that very
Yeah, in
episode.
fact, Adam, if you want to laugh, man, watch we did it was like a double bill episode, and we reviewed Highlander 2 and Jaws the Revenge. As
You'll have to do Superman 4 as well, because that was an absolute dancer as well, wasn't it?
do you know what's funny? I used to love Superman 4 as a kid because my cousin had it on VHS, and I used to think it was a good film. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I've seen all the videos taking the piss out of it, and I think obviously when you're a kid you're really stupid, and yeah, I think it's worth a rewatch just to pull it to bits. So
American Samurai.
American Samurai, and our favourite Samurai Cop. Have you ever seen Samurai Cop?
No. Some films don't age
Oh,
well.
mate.
But I'll tell you one that does a horror. Maniac Cop.
Yeah,
Bruce
actually,
Campbell.
the guy that plays Maniac Cop is a villain in Samurai Cop.
You know,
they're not related to the films aren't related to each other at all. Samurai Cop is an absolute shit show of a film, but it's hilarious. It's like the action movie version of the Tommy Wiseau film, The Room, which is
You would never believe it, mate.
so awful that it's fantastic.
But we reviewed Samurai Cop 1 week, right? And we proper laughed our heads off just taking the utter piss out of it. And then see the next week after that, the exact weekend after that, the main star Samurai Cop was sat on this fucking podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, I watched your episode from last week," and we're like,
but at least he knew it was terrible as well,
Yeah.
in all the right ways.
Well, at least he admits it. That's very honest of him. Yeah.
"Yeah." But it was a good time. I feel like we barely spoke about the paranormal because we've really spoke about nostalgia and movies. But that's how you know it's a great conversation. Your video that you took 1991. Do you remember what month it was?
It was the summer holidays.
July.
Bloody hell. It'll be probably July time. Like I said, when we were younger, me and my friends used to have my dad's video camera, and he'd just let me use it for making films and stuff like that. And we knew there was something wrong with the house. So me and my friends decided one summer, let's try and capture. My friend Stuart at the time, he's still with us, as you get loose friends. Yeah, he's still with us.
Oh no, totally.
But he backs the story as well, and he said it was his idea. He says, why don't we set up the tripod with the camera on in different rooms at different angles and just record on long play for an hour? Because obviously the tape cassettes back then with the mini tapes, and they only lasted 30 minutes. So we plugged in the camera to the mains, and then we just put it facing different, in one bedroom and then the landing. And we must have done it left the house every time as well, and we repeated the same thing over and over again. And then when we came back, we spilled through about 3 of the tapes, and we didn't find anything. Short attention span when you're kids. Scrolling through, I'm finding it. I'm like, yeah. They're not performing monkeys, are they? And they're just not going to I'm going to just come out in front of the camera kind of thing. So we gave it up. And a couple of weeks later, I was in on my own. I remember it was Sunday evening. My parents were out, my sister were out. And, oh man, I was just spilling through these tapes, and I was fast forwarding it. And something caught my eye. And it was the footage from my bedroom doorway towards the bathroom where there's a wicker chair in. And I just caught to myself, what's that? So I pressed play, and I'm like, that's the video that you see now. And I was just like, holy shit. So I'm watching this with my back to the door, which is open, where the bathroom is facing, with that door open, watching this on the TV with my back to it. And I was so scared. I've got goosebumps now, right? I switched off the TV, and I reversed, I was walking backwards to my door to shut my bedroom door, and I would not move out of my room until my mum and dad came back. And when they came back, I showed my mum the footage, and I said, Mum, look, because it was weird, we were like watching videos downstairs, and they used to have these big mirror sliding doors in the bedrooms, and when they opened and closed, you could hear them downstairs, and like thud, we used to hear them when watching films downstairs. I'm like, my mum and dad be like not reacting to it. I'm like, are they deaf? What's going on? Probably me burglars or something. So they knew there was something wrong with the house. Anyway, back to it. I showed my mum the tape, and she wasn't surprised. She says, oh yeah, I've seen that before. And I'm like, what, you've seen this? She says, yeah. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to scare you. I'm like, you've seen it with your own eyes? She went, yeah. She says, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And she says, just shut it out. If you shut it out and don't invite them in and all this, and they'll just leave you alone because they feed off your energy. And I'm like, she really knew about the paranormal stuff. So I'm like, okay. But, when you're getting dragged out of your bed on a night and your covers pulled off you, like that happened to me. And I just got so sick.
Fucking hell.
Used to sleep in a sleeping bag because my idea was, if I'm in a sleeping bag, my weight's on it, so it can't, drag the covers off me. I was so wrong. It used to pull me and my sleeping bag off the bed. So my mum and dad would be called into school because I'd be falling asleep in class because I hadn't been sleeping and stuff like that. And I got so sick of it, I was just sleeping on the floor in a sleeping bag. I was just getting dragged off most nights.
Fucking hell. Have you ever thought about making that into like a wee short story or something? Like your experience?
Well, my wife said, because I finished the Moors and it took a lot of my time up, and obviously self-employed, and, your bread and butter comes first kind of thing. Anyway, consuming all my weekends and editing and filming. And she says, why about your next project? Why don't you do a documentary style film like Blair Witch based on your experiences in the house? And I'm like, where do you even start with something like that? Do you know what I mean? Because I've got the footage. It's been on multiple paranormal shows, and so many people have seen it. If that came out, they'd be like, I've heard about this. The interest is there already. Apart from it's kind of half marketed itself, isn't it? So I think that would be a good idea. But that is one of my ideas. But the stuff that used to happen, some of your listeners will be like, what the hell's he talking about? But it used to mimic family members' voices. So this
I've heard about that shit. Oh,
so
fuck that.
I remember this was mental. So my friend were around at my house. We're chatting away in the kitchen. I'm kind of leant against the kitchen unit, and the utility room's to that side of me. And it's, the door's open, but it's in the dark. My mate's against the kitchen unit in front of me, and I'm talking away. My mum pops her head round the door, and she says, "Oh, Adam, can you go in the Torah caravan that we had parked at the side of the house? We've run out of dog meat, and we used to keep spare tins in there from when we went camping and stuff." So I went out, couldn't find it, came back in. And I says, "Oh, I can't find any." And my mum was like, she always had to prove me wrong. She says, "Oh, if I go in there and find some dog meat, you're in deep shit." I'm like, "Oh, whatever." Teenager, cocky teenager, like rolling my eyes, whatever. So anyway, she went out, slammed the door shut, me and my mate are talking. And then next minute I hear the, "Adam!" I'm like, oh God, really angry as well. Like, she's found a tin of dog food. But then I'm like, hang on a minute. And a split second, I'm like, the front door didn't open. And I'm facing the front door in the kitchen with the, you know what I mean? I'm like, so then if my mate's looking around the corner as well, so where is she? And then from the utility room at the side of me, again, "Adam!" in my mum's voice. I'm like, whew. My friend bolted out that door and he didn't come back to the house after that. That was right. It was literally a couple of feet away from me. So, and then she came in a couple of minutes later and she says, "Oh, yeah, right, there's no dog food in there." And she's looking at me like, "What's up with you?" I thought she was going to say, "Have you seen a ghost?" But like, no. She just knew there was something wrong, and I told her what happened. And she used to like cancel it out. I was like, "Oh, don't be stupid. It's your imagination." But I'm like, no, because my friends just run out the house. So it's not my imagination. So yeah.
Gosh. Janice says we've had a mimic here.
That's the one. In Indiana. I couldn't remember.
Mimic.
Couldn't remember.
Fuck that shit, mate.
But you actually, Adam, you were trying to record a TikTok the other day, something talking about your grandparents.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about it again because I heard something. I thought somebody says it's an Airwick air freshener, but we've got the plug-in ones, the Glades at the silent. And somebody's saying it's that, or it could be you've got an Alexa in the kitchen, so it could be your Alexa just doing a random voice, but it didn't sound like Alexa's voice, if you know what I mean. If you've seen it,
she never listens anyway. Fucking
no.
usual.
Well,
Alexa, play Led Zeppelin. Okay, here's Adele.
Or 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're asleep. And I'll add that to your shopping list, and you're like,
yeah, you've got the
Paranormal's ordering shit on me, my Amazon Prime account or something. That's weird.
You've got the ghost sword on some mac and cheese randomly.
Smoked sausage.
But no, I heard that and it freaked me out a little bit, and I thought, I'm hearing things. I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I couldn't explain it, but it put me off doing that TikTok because we're talking about family. Because I knew a lot of reminiscing of the 80s and the 90s and the childhood. And I'm like, I remember going to the grandparents when we were kids, and I was like, it must have been about 20 seconds into it, and then boom. And it was right behind me near the sink. And I'd shut the door because my son, watching Doctor Who, he's a big fan of Doctor Who, he's watching Doctor Who with my wife in the front room. So they'd shut the door and I'd shut the kitchen door. So there's nobody in the kitchen but me. And I just thought, yeah, that freaked me out. I mean, you've probably seen my face on the video. I was just like, what the actual?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about it is like watching it and seeing your reaction at the time. It's hard to fake that. Like, we all know the story for The Exorcist of Jason Miller. He wasn't acting scared enough at some point, so William Friedkin just shot a shotgun next to his head to get him to give the frightened reaction. That's what your reaction was like, and it's a very hard thing to fake. Yeah. And the sound was weird. It didn't sound like it was. I couldn't hear any words or anything, but it was just kind of.
It's like a shout whisper kind of. It was just weird. I thought it said higher, and then somebody said it said liar, and then somebody said it said my name, and I'm like,
higher, liar, Adam. People hear what they want to hear when they listen to these things. That's the problem. There's too much subjectiveness going on.
Nards says, I have trilogy worth of paranormal activity I experienced in 2 previous homes. You'll need to come on and tell us about that, Nards. And by the way, Nards is actually credited in the Paranormal Activity film. He'll tell you all about that. Janice says, Hubby and I recommended watch in a 1985 movie called Life Force.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I'll need to check
Yeah,
that out.
I've not seen
It's
that.
on
That's
Amazon Prime, I think. That.
yeah. Is that not like
The
a kind
Entity,
of
that's
Predator
good one.
style thing? Is it Predator style? Alien.
She said she was 12.
Oh my God.
It's something. I think it's something to do with vampires in outer space or something like that. If I remember.
Life Force.
Wild since I've seen it.
Yeah.
No, The Entity. That's a good one. That's based on true events. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
that.
Fire in
yeah.
the Sky.
Yeah, the Entity. That was my brother showed me that when I was about 10. Thanks, brother.
Space vampires.
Yeah, it's a film I'm thinking about. Yeah, The Entity. And what was the one you just said? The
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky. We watched that. literally
Robert
2 weeks
Patrick.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a class film.
it seems it's almost so grounded that it's plausible, and it terrifying. Like you can imagine, even if you think you've experienced something like that, it must fuck your life up.
Yeah, I found it quite amusing that the kid that was in Elliot in E.T. was in the film as well, and it was like he's gone from a friendly alien to a psychopathic one that stole his friends.
Henry Thomas.
Yeah, that's right. He was the young guy in it.
He then went on to become the father in The Haunting of Hill House. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
Oh
Brilliant.
my fuck, that was fucking terrifying. I actually...
died, and he's like, she turned up in his kitchen. Oh, I freaked
Mate.
out when.
Mate, there's a point I remember, like, and I really don't scare easy, right? Sometimes I go, right? I really don't, and I pride myself as being the fucking hard man of the house that doesn't scare, right? And I remember sitting on the couch, right, watching Haunting Hill House, right, and I used to shit myself at, right? It's just so well done. And I remember there's a scene where they're in the car, they're driving, and the lassie goes, "Ah!" And I literally, my wife was nodding off, and I went, "Ah!" like that on the couch. Shit, you not. I did that, and I was like, what's happened to me? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I never did that ever.
That film is the director's brilliant. The anticipation and the timing of the horror, he just did it perfectly.
100%.
Glad you were like, oh god, this is killing me, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just get you when you're not expecting.
Yes.
He was
Mike
doing it.
Flanagan,
Well done.
so good. He's, by the way, so he's married to one of the lassies in Haunting of Hill House.
All right.
Yeah, the
She's in. And have you seen him?
No, I don't know what it looks like.
It looks like Stu Arnold. Right, so yeah, he's not attractive. He's not an attractive guy. He's a very talented guy. He's not attractive. And I think to myself, good for them. Good for them. Always begs a question, eh? You're like, that just doesn't compute.
It's going to be on your
Eh?
podcast next.
Mate, do you know what's funny? It's like usually Matthew Man would leave a comment saying, "And on the show next week, Mike Flanagan," because that's the type of shit. Like we never shit on anybody ever, and we usually we're always trying to be as positive about everything. So the one time that we may say something that may cause offence to anybody, right? And by the way, like J-Mac or like you always say to your friends like, oh you're punching or whatever, right? So technically, we're just saying that to Mike Flanagan, right? Because we're mates. So technically, he shouldn't be taking any offence to it. But
Aye, let's go with that, shall we?
And his wife Kate Seagull hate me. Oh, really? You need to tell us a story. I cannot.
He needs to come back on.
Aye, Wolfman. The reason I think you've probably reviewed their stuff, and you're at that point of your online career that they actually see what you say about their stuff, and that's probably what happened here. Do you know if you combine Wolfman's Got Nards and the Jibber Jabber podcast, we're all kind of a big deal.
If you combine us, so if you combine our short film with Jaws, it's got a really good return in box office. But yeah, Adam, the thing that kind of drew me to the thing that persuaded me to actually get in contact with you and get you to come on was because it was the stuff you were doing about growing up in the 80s and 90s, right? Now,
Yeah.
You how old are you again? You can ask guys that. It's fine. 48, right? So you're 8
Don't look
years old.
48.
Cheers.
J-Mac
No.
looks older than you. He
Fucking-
looks older than you.
Thanks. Yeah, this show's always good for a compliment. But you're 8 years older than me. But I felt like when I was watching your videos that there was a lot of stuff that really resonated, even with that age gap. And nostalgia for me it's at the point now where there's looking back and having happy memories. But I think looking back and having the happy memories makes you kind of feel a bit sad about how things feel now. Do you kind of have that experience as well, or do you just look back fondly and then move on with your day?
I kind of look back and I just remember it's like you remembering them days, but we didn't realise how good we had it back then because we just take it for granted, like we're taking life for granted now. But I do live for the present as well, and I take it all in. It's like we have the best times now, but I just like every so often. It's like a song you'll hear on the radio or something. Like, oh, remember that? Or a film will be on TV and you remember the first time you saw it at the cinema with your friends back in the 80s or something like that. It's just triggering off a memory, and that's why I do these TikToks, because I love to reminisce, and people, it's relatability, and people, love that kind of thing. Because
J-Mac was crying at one of your TikToks.
I said
I've had a lot
nearly.
of people crying.
Nearly.
Like, oh, the most depressing man on TikTok. Yeah, he messages me. He says, "Oh, you sound depressed, mate." I'm like, "No, it's relatable videos. I like to reminisce, nostalgic times, and all that kind of stuff." And it's like to go, because I tell my son about things what it was like back in the day, going to the video shop. And we didn't have all these TV channels. I remember Channel 4 being launched in 1982. Do you know what I mean? When we had like 3 TV channels, and like that's it. You had to Saturday morning cartoons, and then that were it for the day until the evening when you had the A-Team, Night Rider on and stuff like that. Kids don't know how easy they've got it now. It's TV shows, there's 24-hour cartoons.
100%. I remember having to go in to watch Catchphrase, then it was The Batman with Adam West, then it was Gladiators, then it was bedtime just as Midsummer Murders came on.
Yeah. I had a team in my bed watch Hale and Pearson's Spitting Image back in the 80s.
Damn.
Oh,
Harry
man.
Enfield and Chums and the Fast Show. And that's back in the 90s, but it's just, I think it's good to reminisce because I think it's like a warm feeling and it's a happy feeling. It kind of is an element of sadness, but end of the day, I think it's okay.
Yeah. Be happy that it was there. Do you know, my son just came back for school camp, and I kind of relate it to my own school camp, and I was making like a collage video of all the pictures, and I was like, what I tried to encapsulate in what I was editing was like, in years to come, they're going to look back on this and see who's there and, who's gone off and done whatever. But it was just trying to be like, these are days that you will 100% miss, memories for life type of thing.
What's happening is when you have kids, isn't it? You worry about them from when they're born, and they're going to talk, they're going to walk all right, they're going to get bullied at school, they're going to do good at school. So you're always, and he's grown up. It's like he's 18 now, he's 19 this year, and I'm like, where the hell has that time gone? You know what I mean? You just hit pause button. But I remember him having his 5th birthday, and next minute he's like 15, and then he's like, whoa, slow down. He's got
mate.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Sometimes I'll go into my girl's bedroom and I'm like, really? And they come to me, there's pen all over their face, and I go, do you know what? Turn this attitude of negativity around. I'm like, because I will pray for this one day. There's going to come a day where I'm going to not have that noise, that chaos, and not have to wipe my daughter's face. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, do you know what? I'm actually not going to be raging at you. Like, come here, let's tidy this together. I do. I find myself doing that all the time, because you look at even where all of our kids are right now and how quickly it just went boom, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man, because it doesn't matter how many times my son shits in the bath, I can never get on board with it.
And you're somebody that still shits in the bath. So fuck's sake.
Wait, you're supposed to shit somewhere else?
Waffle stomp.
And all of a sudden the turd flies by.
God.
To do that. But But it's
Oh,
like
good
telling
times.
bedtime stories. Kind of missed that, and then he's like, I went in B&M the other day. I just went in for some bits, and I'm walking through the toy section, thinking, God, I used to look through, the Lego sets and stuff like that. And he's like not into stuff like that anymore. And it's like you kind of miss that element. So like you kind of look back, but you're trying to take it all in at the same time. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when they say, "What do you want for your birthday?" and they say Xbox vouchers. You're like, "Oh, fuck off."
Harvey's really hard to buy for, to be honest with you. It's like it's probably either a new electric guitar or a foot pedal or something like that.
That's all right. That's all right. It's bringing out the
PS5
artistic.
That's something we never lose, by the way. I'm forever still getting accessories for my guitar. It's just, it goes from your parents going, "Oh," to your wife going, "Ugh." That's what changes, We stay the
Yeah,
same.
you don't get married. You just get a new fucking mum.
I know, right? Just get a new boss. I said Flanagan ripped off Mischief Night 2013 with Hush, and Kate whipped me for it. Since it's her, I accepted it. Way. Well, you'll need to tell us all about that, mate. I know. Mike Flanagan. He's defo punching.
Yeah, that seems like a good place to end.
Do you know what, Adam? I feel like we've only scratched the surface, but we don't want to keep you too long. We need to get you back on. You should do a watch along with us. We've got a few of them coming up this year. One, Simon's going to come back on it. We select a film sometimes. Usually it's a really terrible one, critically panned. And what happens is we watch it on our other screens or however, and we watch it along with everybody. I know what you're thinking. Who the fuck wants to tune in to watch us watching a film? They do it. They genuinely turn it on the same time as us, and we all watch it together.
He watches them on YouTube all the time. People's
right.
reactions.
Exactly. So we do these things.
We just do it live. That's the only difference. We do it live.
We do it live. And everybody watching
live.
Everybody that tunes in watches it along with us, though. I never thought it would work. I thought, who's going to want to do that? But they do. Everybody watches it with us. So you should come on and do one with us.
I've heard there's a really good film. There's a really good film you could do the live watch along. It's called The Mawson. Yeah.
We've seen it. We've seen it.
It's not a bad idea though, because we've yet to actually manage to get a filmmaker to do the watch along with us. So
Simon Phillips this year. We're doing. So this is the same guy that made. This is the guy that's making the film with Matthew. Right. So. No, that's the wrong one.
Fucking hell, they're no labels.
So no, there. So this here is Silent Bite. Simon came on to talk about this film that he made, but he is also the creator of The Mousetrap. So The Mousetrap. So the sequel to Silent Bite is Saturday Bite Fever, which Matthewman's involved in, right? But Simon's going to come on and watch his own film with us. You should come on that episode as well, and Matthewman. And Nards, and we should all just have a beer and watch it with Simon, the director. Now, Simon, in his own words, on this very podcast says, "Look, mate, I didn't make it to be a good film. I just wanted to be first, and it made a lot of money. All right? So, it's all right."
So, directed by Grant Mitchell.
So, you should also come on. I'll get you a copy of this. And watch it with us. Like I say, we usually go for notoriously bad films, but they're not bad in the sense that we don't love them, because we love the shit out of them. They're just bad as in, like, certain things about the film's no great. But, hey, I stand by it. Beaster Bunny, Lamageddon, Birdemic, Crispy's Curse.
I think that's probably where your film, where your film specifically wouldn't work for the watch along.
100%.
It's actually pretty decent.
It has to be some. It has to be something.
I've actually released The Mars. It's on Blu-ray, but you can't.
No way.
Yeah, I've got it on Blu-ray, so I'll send you a copy.
That'd be excellent. Aye,
Cool, man.
that would be brilliant.
Got some
Brilliant.
blues on there, stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
No, that's
You'll see
pretty good.
It's on. They're all on Amazon Prime movies too. So.
Have you got distribution for it? Like an actual distributor, do you?
Yeah.
Class.
I'm at Peanuts on Amazon, but it is what it is.
That's everything nowadays. You'd be surprised. You'd
By
be
the way,
surprised.
can I just say I actually did laugh out loud at the post-credit sequence. A proper like I kind of leaned back in my chair and laughed.
I actually missed that.
The guy that plays Bill, he's never really done acting before. He's a friend of mine. He works at a shop in the village. He's a friend of mine. He's the right character. He basically played himself. I just knew when I got to go, I was like looking at this character for Bill. I was like, oh God, who can I use? And somebody says, what about Steve? I'm like, because he's a bit intimidating, is Steve. And you know what I mean? He was perfect for it. He absolutely smashed it out.
I could just imagine him like working in a shop. Just, if you're not gonna buy it, fuck off.
He's a man of many words. He's a funny guy. He's a really funny guy. So yeah. He's like, should we do an end credits? He said, what about me waking up naked on Mars? I'm like,
get the impression he's just always wanted to do that.
but the idea is when he wakes up and he's like, where his stomach going? He's got, not again. He's got IBS, so his character's got IBS. So that's a little bit. It's like Dog Soldiers when he goes, I hope I give you the shits.
Yeah, I hope I give you the shits. Oh man,
I hope I give
too
you the
good.
shits, you fucking wimp. That was a great one.
How good is that?
Yeah,
That's an amazing film. I think
that
there's a lot more that we could dive into. I hope you come back on, man. I hope you had a decent enough time.
Sure. Talking about movies.
That'd be class.
Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
We can do it all again, and it's been great. Again, thanks for just getting back to me. First of all, a lot of people don't. But yeah, thanks for actually coming on and filling.
Here, actually, by the way, sorry to interrupt you, J-Mac, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these films for us to review for next week. Adam, if you are free,
in a week.
if you are free, pick one of the selected films, and we'll get it to you. And you, J-Mac, I went with the view that we're not going to watch 9 films to review because it's a collection, right? But we'll all pick one each, right? So we come back here next week and talk about, well, the one I watched that was all in Italian was like this, and we kind of give an average whether we think it's good. You're all invited. Nards, if you want to come on, Matthewman, Janice, yourself, Adam, and let's have a fucking cracking. There's no pressure, by the way. You can say no all you want. I'll still send you the link. but aye, if any is up for coming on next week to cover the bullets and betrayal, it's all like kung fu fighting and all that. But aye, so if anybody's into that and up for some patter, we'll invite you all on next week. So let us know. Have some time to think about it. But if you're up for it, and I'll send you all the films, and we shall shoot the shit once more. Yeah. But it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, Adam. And I have a feeling that you're going to get. Same. You should probably come into our Matthew Mantics group chat. We have a group chat between myself, J-Mac, and Matthew Man, where we just talk nothing but absolute movie garbage. You probably would fit nice in there. Janice says, "Night everyone, love you all." Yes, I love the watch along. See, crazy, right? Nice. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight and staying with us for an hour and a half. It's been excellent. If anybody has not already, please go ahead and follow Adam on Adam Mawson. It's like
01.
in Scotland we
01, not just one.
That's a hacker, is that?
Oh no, sorry, that's
is that
one.
Adam Mawson 1. It's the Adam Mawson 0.
Right. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling podcasters. God damn. Yeah. I actually go to Adam Mawson 01 and report him, and then go to Adam Mawson 1 and check out all of Adam's content. It's really good. I had J-Mac near crying the other day. Yesterday, I think it was. I've seen quite a lot of your skits, and generally, you've got a great outlook on what nostalgia means to everybody and why it means what it does. For example, cartoons being you had to be there. You can just turn it on at any point. And you can go to www.artilicious.co.uk to get all your wares.
Your wares.
Get all your wares. Go and check out the website. Is there anything coming up you would like anybody to know? Also, the Moors. I will post a link. I think I already have, but I will again for everybody that's not yet seen the Moors. but you can also purchase it on Amazon, I'm told. So if you are a collector, like we all are, Blu-ray. Oh, see. So in the comments section of wherever you're watching this right now, be it Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, and even if you're listening, because we get this right, we get a lot of listeners that only listen. They never tune in, but they'll listen through the week on Spotify and stuff like that. So if you guys are listening to this, I'll put it in the comments or the description. So go and watch it. You'll all enjoy it. It's heavy good. So like I say, there's nothing coming up you want anybody to direct anybody?
I've got nothing in the pipeline. Like I said, I'm toying with the idea of doing a paranormal documentary about what happened back in the 90s. But it's at the early writing stage, so it's not, it's not concrete yet, but it is a really good idea, and I think I'd like to do it. But the only thing is, am I going to bring it all back? Is it going to attract something? You know what I mean? Like talking about grandparents on TikTok. It's like.
Well, it'd be good. It'd be good for footage. Certainly, it's like, how do we cast the ghosts? Just start bringing it all back.
Yeah, start talking about it, and things like the other night will happen, and that's doing it for me, innit? I don't have to do anything. So.
Yeah, and if you don't know what we're talking about, fellas and felines, head over to Adam Mawson 1, not 01.
The one with 12,000 followers is me.
Oh man, I can't believe we actually plugged the fucking fake channel.
He's like, that's the scammer! That's the scammer!
Oh wow.
Aye, definitely get him reported and let Adam have his shine all to himself. That's ridiculous. Imagine like cloning somebody's TikTok.
It shows that your stuff's good though, so keep doing it.
That's true.
I don't let us down. Keep doing it. Keep doing
It's funny, but the videos that he's stolen of mine, and I've got thousands of views. He's got like 12 or 14 or something like that. So he's obviously not.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's the hashtags. Is that what it is?
Hashtags.
The hashtags.
TikTok _TikTok. Nostalgia. 80s kids. Trending. Trends. Yeah.
I'll figure that out soon. We've got a TikTok. It's our main place is YouTube and really Facebook, but we have TikTok and all our clips go there and all that stuff. And sometimes we get like 800 views, sometimes we get like 1,000 and odd. J-Mac's got a fart compilation. We've had somebody write to us being like, what's with all these podcasts? When's the next fart stuff coming? I'm like, soz, I'll get on it here, J-Mac. Is there any chance you could squeeze a couple?
I did a TikTok the other day, and we were talking about the new KFC advert.
Yeah, I saw it.
Seen that.
I saw it.
Like 745,000 views now. I'm just like,
bloody hell. It's conspiracy stuff, though, isn't it?
I seen that advert for the first time yesterday, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I thought it was an Easter egg advert for Cadbury's.
That's exactly what I said, and my mate Lee said the same thing. He said it looks like it's an advert for like a new Easter egg, maybe by Lindt or Lindor or something. Then all of a sudden, you get this fucking guy getting dipped in gravy and coming out as a fucking chicken wing. You're like, what is actually going on here?
And all these conspiracy theories are saying, they're telling us it's a message saying they actually use human meat in KFC and that. I'm like,
KFC gate.
Eyeballs, come on. What you say?
Or it's a good way to get people talking about KFC again.
Yeah, but not in the right way. It kind of puts them off. Everyone's talking about it, but everyone's talking about not going again. So
I don't know. I'm quite up for some involuntary cannibalism.
Try everything once, eh? Try everything once. Well, no everything, but
don't knock it till you've tried it.
Most things, aye.
You've got a calf. Like, yeah, it's definitely human. You know what I mean?
It's like, you think chicken wings are good? Wait till you've tried toes, man.
Wait, no, wait till you've tried bingo wings.
Going up to the counter.
There's a lot more eating than they know. Fatty.
Bit chewy.
On that fucking note.
Class. Like you said, Adam, it was excellent having you on, mate. Please do come back, and we'll definitely catch everybody next week. 9 PM, usual. Jibber Jabber every Sunday. We're back next week with Bullets and Betrayal and all that fun stuff. We hope you all have a good week. If you're listening to this on Spotify and that, smash a fucking review button, man. What the fuck are you waiting on? Tell us how class we are, or not. That's fine. I don't mind. But it's been epic. So we'll catch you guys next week. Again, thanks, Adam. Anything you'd like to say, J-Mac, before we go?
No, again, just thanks for coming on, Adam. It's been good fun. I hope you come back again. If
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks for having me. It's brilliant.
yeah,
Thank you, my friend.
And, we'll see you again.
Pleasure's all ours. Take it easy, guys.